All right, welcome to Yin Yoga tonight. Sometimes I like to call this Yin Yang Yoga because we might get into a little bit of strengthening conditioning as well, especially around the core. And we'll start with a quick centering, find a comfortable seated position, check in, tune in. How do you feel? What do you notice? What's the ambience of your environment? Are there distractions or is it focusing? And just allow whatever's going on to be as it is. Just let go of the tension of wanting anything to be different from how it is. Come into line with your context, with your circumstances, with your conditions. And work from that place today, not forcing anything to be different. Inhale, clasp the hands behind the head. And we'll start with a little rotation work here, just activating the twisting muscles of the body. Exhale to the right. Inhale, neutral. Exhale to the left. And try to keep the elbows in a linear alignment. So you're not bending the elbows to increase the force of the twist. You're just allowing the twist to be modest, coming to the edge of your natural rotation without force. And as you exhale, start to activate the opposite sit bone. And you can start to turn the head as well if you haven't already. So as you turn to the left, you'll push down with the right sit bone, the right knee, and turn the head to the left. Keep the back of the head against the hands, so you feel that nice upright position as you twist. Just activating the core. Come back to center. Release the hands. And find that wide seated pose. Shoulders relaxed. Feeling that first stimulation of the core. And then change your cross to your non-habitual cross. Lean back. Bring the opposite leg forward. Notice the contrast. Lateral flexion of the spine. Hands behind the head. Exhale. Dip that left elbow down towards the ground, left ear towards the ground, stretching out through that right side. Push down with that right sit bone to stay anchored. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, other side. So feeling the obliques engage here to stabilize you as you crunch to one side. And then the other. Keeping the back of the head engaged, pushed against the hands. One more. Inhale, come to neutral. Release the hands, find your posture. Noticing the impact of engaging these slight core activations to begin our practice. And bringing flexion and twist together, one of the classic poses. Grab a block or a cushion or anything you can and drop your feet to the ground into a seated pose, leaning back so you can see the angle of my lean. I don't know, what's that, 45 degrees. And all I'm going to do is tap the block or the cushion to one side and then the other. Go slowly here at the speed of the breath so the core has to really stabilize you. Taking a whole breath to move from one side to the other. Inhale to neutral, exhale to the other side. Lift the left foot off the ground, keeping the knee bent. Shin parallel to the ground if you can. And you'll feel that in the hip flexor on the left side. Switch legs. Drop the left. Bring the right up. Notice the temperature of the body starting to increase as the core activates. And then both legs up. Continue on at that nice steady pace with the breath. And then release, come down onto your back, bring the knees together, feet apart, dropping into TP pose, giving time for the back and the core and the hip flexors to let go. Palms face up 45 degrees beside the hip, turn the head to the left. Keep that left shoulder away from the ear so there's no hunching of the shoulder. Bring the head through neutral and turning to the right. Keep the right shoulder down. Inhale the head to neutral as you clasp the hands. Bring the soles of the feet together and arch the back. Open the chest, push the elbows towards the ground and feel this reclined butterfly opening the chest. Arch the back a little more if you can. Open the hips a little more. Elbows firmly into the floor. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly bring the knees together and lift the head. Hold the head, support the head, wrap the head between the forearms. Squeeze the sides of the skull. Squeeze the back of the hands into the back of the skull and lift the back of the skull carefully. Just tractioning out the neck. You can do little gentle exploratory movements left and right here. Feeling the stretch move into one side of the skull and the neck and then the other. Make sure you don't overdo it. Stay with delicious discomfort. Slowly lower the head, open the knees, soles of the feet together, hands down beside you. Press down with the Edges of the feet into the mat. Lift the buttocks off the ground into a butterfly bridge. Palms face up. Walk the shoulders a little closer towards the hips and lift the pelvis a little higher. Keep the butterfly legs, activating the glutes, keeping the back of the neck long, activating the back muscles of the core. Keep your awareness on squeezing the buttocks. We're using the glutes to hold you up. Almost like you're trying to bring the hips to the ceiling in a constant endeavor. So there's no sagging happening. Constant engagement. Relax the shoulders as you bring the spine back down. Stand the feet on the mat apart, knees together, TP pose. And then bring both knees up into the ribs, squeeze the knees. Feel a low back release. And curl the toes, bringing the shins roughly parallel to the ground, knees bent about, oh, I don't know, whatever it is. As the knees come forward a little bit, try to create a nice 90-degree angle there. So the thigh bones come up perpendicular to the floor, shins parallel to the floor. Exhale, lift the head, reach the palms out in front of you, towards the sky. And all you're going to do is reach the upturned palms towards your feet in little pulses and back again. It's just a movement of 3 or 4 inches. Forward, crunch, back, forward, crunch, forward, crunch. Just moving in that little rhythm. Just a few inches. Try to keep the form nice, low back into the floor. Start to feel the fire in the abdominals. 3 more. Keep the shins up and parallel, thighs perpendicular, lay the head down and rest with the legs in the air. So it's not really a rest. Bring the head to the floor, bring the hands into the air, palms facing the knees. Dead bug pose. Straighten the left leg out, right hand out. Point the toes of the left foot. Curl the toes of the right foot. Switch sides. Keep the form nice and straight. Take your time. Extend the left, point the left, right leg. Reach that left hand over the head. Toes curl back on that right foot. Switch. As we get tired, there's going to be a tendency for the bent knee to come closer to the ribs to take the pressure off. Switch. One more each side. Switch. Can mess with your mind. For 3, 2, and come back to TP pose. Palms face up and let everything go. Really let go in those moments between activations to let the body recover fully. Extend the legs, arms out 90 degrees into 5-pointed star. Cross the right ankle over the left and tilt the left ear down towards the left shoulder, creating a nice stretch on that right side. Lift the hands above the head. Left hand grabs the right wrist and pulls it out over the head. Coming into Banana Asana. Stretching the right side, crunching the left side. Let each new breath grow a little deeper so you feel more stretch sensation on the inhale and perhaps an invitation to pull on the right wrist to hold the length. Relax, straighten, and come back to 5-pointed star, noticing the contrast between each side of the body. Switch sides, left ankle over right, right ear down towards left shoulder, right hand grabs left wrist and brings it up over the head. Deepen the breath, deepen the sensation, open up that left side. Exhale, relax, recover, rest. Pentacle pose, 5-pointed star. And just notice how the body has changed from that big opening. Bring the feet together. Reach the arms over the head so that the back of the hands rest on the ground, palms facing the sky, thumb tips touching, and the side of the index finger touching like a little diamond. Push out through the left heel bone and then the right heel bone, as if somebody has grabbed your ankles and has pulled them away from you. And then imagine the same with your wrists. Someone's pulling the left wrist. You might even wiggle here to get some more length. As you get more length, you'll start to feel the belly hollow out. Squeeze the buttocks to support the low back. Drive out through the heels. Reach through the arms. Push down through the calf muscles into the mat. Your butt will almost feel like it wants to float off the ground. Reach a little more in all 4 limbs. And then relax, relax, relax. Roll onto one side of the body, supporting your head. Aligning ankles, knees, hips, and shoulders and head. So you've got a nice straight line. You can use that top arm for balance. We're just going to lift both legs up and down a few times. Let's do 5 more. Now lift and hold, keep the head up, even bring the head up higher, almost like it wants to come off that supporting hand, and then reach the arm over the head. Find your balance point here as you bring your hands together into boat pose. Keep actively lifting the ankles and the shoulders and the head, so there's no, rather than collapsing down. So you're really fighting that tendency of gravity to pull you down. Exhale, come down, resting the head on that extended arm. Lift the head. Bring that extended arm down, extending it in front of you for support, and the upper arm behind your head. And all we're going to do is lift up, touch the knees, and come down. That's it. Two more. Come onto your back and relax. Notice what's being activated in those lateral crunches. And then come to the other side. Align the joints. Find your balance point here, points of stabilization, so you can focus on 2 leg lifts, straight up and down. And see if you can use strength to lift them rather than momentum. So you really feel that dimension of muscle integrity and endurance starting to come in. The next time you come down, rest bicep against ear. And change arms. The right hand behind the head, left arm stabilizes. And this time, as you lift up, you're trying to connect knee and elbow. Three more. And then relax, come onto your back. And once again, noticing what's been activated, what's been stimulated through that work. And then come onto your belly. Stack the hands under the forehead into crocodile, Charlie Chaplin feet. Slide the elbows up a little bit so there's a nice straight line between elbows, hands. 3 points. Turn the head left, resting the left forehead on the hands. And then turning the opposite direction. Bring the head to neutral, elbows under shoulders, close enough so the hands can reach the upper arms. And drop the palms, Sphinx pose. We're going to do a couple of shoulder shrugs here. So shrug the shoulders up towards the ears and then drop them. Drop. 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 Drop and hold dropped and start a spiral with the tip of the nose. So the tip of the nose drawing a spiraling orbit until you feel the tip of the nose is turning the head in the maximum orbit it can safely. If you hear crunching sounds, usually that's okay as long as it's not painful. Eyes can be closed or open. Come to stillness for a moment. Shoulder shrugs again. Shrug and drop. Shrug and drop. Shrug and drop. Shrug and drop and hold dropped. And start to spiral in the opposite direction. Turning the head. Opposite way, coming to your maximum range of motion. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Inhale, come to stillness, squeeze your butt and kick your butt with both feet. Tap the toes back to the mat and kick. So you're doing butt kicks. With the breath in Sphinx. If Sphinx gets too much at any time, come down to crocodile. The next time you drop your feet, bring the elbows out a little wider. Bring the hands to the edges of the mat. Fingers point outwards, thumbs point straight ahead. And slowly straighten the arms into seal pose. And with some shoulder shrugs here. Shrug and drop. Shrug and drop. The next time you drop, keep the elbows extended and hold seal pose. If you can, bend the knees towards a butt kick and drop. Drop the feet, drop the elbows, stack the hands, rest the head. Walk the knees in closer. Bend both knees. Lift the head. Drop the head. Drop the toes. Bend the knees, lift the head. Push down with the elbows, shoulders back. Drop the head, drop the toes. Continue on, inhaling as you come up and arch, exhaling as you drop and relax. So think of activate, relax. Inhale, exhale. The next time you lift, hold, keep the knees bent, head up, reach around and tap your right ankle with that right hand, and then the other side tap left hand to left ankle. So tap side to side. If you can, bring the hands out in front of you, in between. So as you tap with that right hand, left hand extends, switch. Adding a little more strength to that lower back. 2, 1, and relax. Come onto your back. Come into TP pose. Knees together, feet apart. Let that low back go. Palms face up. Turn the head to the left. And then the right. Inhale the head to neutral. Pick up the left knee and hug the left knee into the ribs. Extend the right leg out. Squeeze that left bent leg into the ribs, keeping the shoulders down. We're just going to do knee kisses here. Exhale, come up, kiss the knee. Inhale, come down. Exhale, kiss. Inhale, down. The next time you come up, pause. Left hand is going to grab the inside of the left foot into half happy baby. Extend the right, lay the head back down. Support the head if you need to. Keep holding happy baby. Exhale, lift the head up, lift the right foot up, and just try to touch your toes on that right side. Lower down without touching the ground. So that right heel stays about 2 inches off the ground. Right hand 2 inches off the ground. Back of the head 2 inches off the ground. If you need to support the back of the head with the right hand, you can. And come up, keeping that right leg extended, touch the toe, and down. Left side stays in half happy baby the whole time. Exhaling as you touch fingers to toe. The next time that right foot comes up, bend the right knee. Take the inside of the foot, half happy baby on the right side, and lower back down, left side. Relaxes, right knee bent. Half happy baby this side. Feeling the hips on the right side. Extend left arm over the head, extend out through the left leg. We're going to do toe taps on this side, holding happy baby on the right side. Remember, exhale as you come up, inhale as you come back. Resist the temptation to drop any of the limbs to the floor. 3 more. And this time you come up, bend both knees, and come into full happy baby. Relax the shoulders. Make sure the head is supported on the ground. You can even do a gentle rock from side to side if that feels good. And then slowly release into TP pose once again. Notice how the low back, the hips are feeling. Should be plenty of activation in the core. Clasp the hands under the head and hold the head up. Bring the knees up 90 degrees. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Hold the breath and lift the tailbone. Exhale, extend the left leg. Reach with that right elbow towards that left leg. Inhale, bring back. Hold the breath. Lift the tailbone. Exhale the other side. Return. Inhale. Hold the breath. Lift the tailbone. Exhale. Extend and reach. Inhale. Return. Hold the breath. Lift the tailbone. Exhale. Extend and reach. Inhale. Hold. Lift. Exhale. Extend. Reach. Keep going. One more on each side. Come back with control. Drop down to TP pose. Knees together, feet apart. Release the head, long neck. Grab a block or a cushion, bring it between the knees. Hold the cushion or the block between the knees. Shins parallel to the ground. Open the feet out wide. Drop the feet down, tap the ground, come up 1 inch. Close the feet and come back to the starting point with control. Inhale, open. Exhale, close and down. Inhale, together, and then lift. So working with the breath. Moving and holding the block or the cushion with a slight squeeze to engage the adductors while you move the pelvis through these movements. Out, down, in, up. out, down, in, up. Now we're going to change direction. So we're going to go down together, out at the bottom, up separate, and back together at the top. So down, out, up, in. Down, out, up, in. Maintain control over the block, or the cushion, or the blanket, or whatever you're holding. The next time you come down, pause, drop the feet on the mat, remove the block. And if you have something to bring under the thighs, like a bolster or cushions, bring under the thighs, and come into supported Shavasana. Make sure you're warm. Make sure the head is in neutral head tilt. Notice how the lower back feels. And imagine the core of the body from the mid-thighs to the navel. Just feel it relax and expand in 4 directions. So the front expands outwards. The skin at the top of the thighs, the belly and the navel all starts to melt, to drape. And then the thickness, your thickness starts to sink downwards into your mat, like a pool of water forming at the base of an ice block that's melting. So the core becomes formless as it relaxes. The core is supported by the earth is supporting you. The core can relax you. And bring your attention into the back of the body, the back of the thighs, the butt, the lower back, this too can also let go. It can puddle on your mat. And feel your thickness, the sides of the body, left side, right side. Feel your thickness diminish as you melt. Once again, at the end of practice, accepting where you're at, letting go of judgments or shoulds or shouldn'ts, simply being right where you are. And find that unusual contentment by allowing yourself to be as you are. A different kind of contentment. When you're ready, you can bend your knees. If you're enjoying Shavasana, you can always stay there a little longer. You can stretch or move in any ways that feel natural for you to transition up to a seated position. And once again, acclimating, noticing your environment. Inner and outer. Namaste. Thank you for joining me.